So for geologic cores, I picked to do the sedimentary last because it goes right along with geologic cores. So for these geologic cores kit, the students will now, after they've seen their sedimentary rocks, they can make their own rocks. They can make their own geological cores. And it's really hard to get cores these days. So this is a good alternative. And I'll show you how to do this. And then I also have a couple of alternatives as well. So the first part of this kit, it comes as there's these big straws. The other little straws would be very difficult to do this with, but we have big straws, and the straws will cut into thirds to be about 3 inches long. And you're going to take different colors of Play-Doh, and this is of special dough that comes in the kit. This is called Modeling Geo Core. And like I said, all of this is in the bottom. And what you do is it's easiest to take a knife, I think, but you could certainly reform it, or you could have them make the layers without this. But to me, I found it was easier just to cut them into layers, different colors, and you can make the layers different sizes, different widths, or however you want to say. And then there are, I believe, 5 different colored beads. 5 different colored beads. Each of these little beads are going to correspond to a different type of fossil that you'd find in a different time period. And you're going to take these beads, and I'm going to pick a bead that's not green. So I have yellow here, because green was the first one I just picked. And you're going to scatter them on top of that little bit of clay. Then you're going to take, I'm going to pick pink because that isn't going to interfere. Take pink, put it right on top of there. So now I have it there. Now I'm going to take green, because I think I took yellow. Yes. I'm going to take green and put it on top of there. And you could certainly put them in the middle and work them in if you want. It doesn't matter. And as you can see, I'm not necessarily making it. Whoops, look, we got the wrong time period there. All right. Now, once we have that, you're going to take the next layer of sediment, and you could have them make up a whole story about how those sediments, what are the time periods, what kind of fossils they'd find there, or you probably do that at the end. After you have all of this together, you're going to kind of press it together because there's sedimenting or cementing them, right? And now you have these little straws, and you're going to gently, the student is going to gently kind of twist it down, right? And you can do 3. I would take this one out first. Okay, can you see? Now we have layers. And then you're going to have them do 3 different ones, and they fit really nicely in these little dough containers, so that if you need to close them up again, you can. Just put the lid on. Okay, and you have 3 of them. Okay, now you take these, and what the students are going to do is they are going to measure, not in inches, this is science class, they're going to measure the different widths or lengths of these colors, and then they can correspond that to a different part in time. And also as they look around, now watch, it didn't happen on this one. Happenstance. Hold on. I will show you the ones I did earlier. The one I did earlier, you can see that a fossil was actually trapped, right? And actually a few fossils were trapped in these, but luck of the draw, it didn't work. And then you can talk about, why aren't all of these exactly the same? Are the distances exactly the same? Do all of them have fossils? Do they not have fossils? And you can talk about variabilities in the environments and how they change. And this is the geologic activity, geological core activity. The next part of this is that now, once they've done that and they've been able to tell a story, or at least be able to look at the time difference and how you could make it so that it works to be the right time, you can now, for the second part, is build it into, and then, I forgot to show you too, that these actually come out really easily. And if they don't, you can push them with a pencil or something, because it's big enough, and you can see that the core comes right out. So they could actually look and search for the fossils if they want to as well. All right. And then the second part of this activity is you have this model. You could use this model actually in a couple of ways, because if you've done all of the discussion that I talked about earlier, then you could create different types of environments. Or, to me, it should be this way, so that it's like a lake and it stratifies. And the study of the strata is called stratigraphy, which is a really kind of fun word too, because you're always trying to stretch students' vocabulary. So you can put it in here, build this up into layers, and then they can come and they can take samplings from different areas in this mold, and then they have to tell their story. Why, this is something in this area where it's not as deep is going to have a lot, many fewer, I don't think you can say that, but fewer layers than something in the deeper area. Okay? All right. So that's a really cool way to look at geologic time. And if you look, another option is that we have a kit also that is even more real life, I guess you could say. It actually has fossils, microfossils. So those little beads are very similar to this. Okay, so all of these are grains of sand, and they actually have fossils of little critters on there. All right, I know critters, it's a very scientific word. And so it is, they have little fossils that you can look at under the scope. So you could actually get these and put them into the Play-Doh if you really wanted to, but then why waste them? Because then they're sort of a waste. Or there's also a kit that's more of a traditional kit, that with a longer write-up and lots more questions, things like that. And that actually is a microfossil mystery, and you're looking for these fossils within the kit. All right. The next page, or the next slide, talks about all the geologic time scale. I really like this GSA geologic time scale. It has all the periods and the eras and the epochs and all of that. And it's so colorful that you can take it from here and use it in your classroom. So I tried to give you some resources that you didn't have to go and look for anything.